Dear friends, today we want to tell you about the characteristics that is normal for the human of the future. Each one of us have the opportunity to be the human of the future. All have already traveled through the wide open spaces of the universe and have had lives not only inside our planet, but also on other planets. To continue our conscious existence as humans of the future, we need to find features that are peculiar to a human of the future, putting emphasis on human with a capital letter. There is no comparison to what lies ahead for the future of humanity with regard to electronic communications and various scientific achievements of today. Existing relationships between people are deprived of warm-heartedness, openness, and a deeper sense of connections. For some modern humans, there is no time to indulge in spiritual experiences because they are so wrapped up in the technological innovations and all the things it gives them. For some people are so wrapped up in rational, selfish behaviors, and they have no idea what kind of future they are manifesting. Most modern people of today are drawn to rational, selfish tendencies that manifest in the form of consumerism and thus guided by their choices that benefit only themselves. Each one of us are able to create our future with our thoughts and emotions. We can create a life for you where we use not only single letters, but a combination of words that fit together to enlighten you. Most people are not able to experience high spiritual experiences and does not even know what it is. The relationship between a mother and a child is accepted as a standard for the highest altruistic manifestation. But even in this kind of relationship, there are moms that only want to be a mother due to beneficial reasons, to receive merchandise. Maternal feelings are often dictated by intuitional behavior that is also inherent in animals. There are many examples within nature. Animals and birds are able to show no less love and care towards their cubs and even show the courage and endurance that is not inherent within humans. Some species of birds extract food for their chicks for 24 hours a day. Penguins do not eat or drink for 4 months, keeping milk in their craw for the future penguin, and at the same time they hold the egg carefully in their paws, protecting it from the cold and any damage, and by doing this, they save the life of their future chick. There are still many other qualities like loyalty, that is common not only for us as humans, but also for animals. Everyone knows about the ability of cats and dogs to experience a deep devotion towards a human. A dog or a cat can wait for years for a guardian that has left them. We cannot call qualities like that a manifestation of altruism, because it is a manifestation of instinctive natural altruism and has nothing to do with human altruism. The love between a mother and a child is not a manifestation of conscious altruism. The love is dictated by the innate instincts to preserve the generation inherent in all animals, and a blind mother's love can even harm society. A mother that loves blindly condones certain behavioral patterns onto a beloved child, and as a result, when the child becomes an adult, he is extremely callous, brutal, and aggressive towards other people, because this kind of love makes him unable to show compassion, empathy, and an understanding of which many species of animals are able to show. This kind of love becomes the main cause of the particular cruel, cynical, ruthless, and immoral monsters within the human community. Fanatical love for one's own people or nation leads to such consequences, converting many people with underdeveloped personalities into blind slaves of another person's will, and they do not notice any victims to their criminal devotion. that altruism is based on despotism and cruelty. Their readiness for self-sacrifice has nothing to do with highly intelligent and high sensual conditions peculiar for the future human. Another very common type of false type of altruism that does not have the slightest relevance to it, but is exhibited by religious fans, skillfully manipulating people for their own selfish gain, rather than sincere aspirations to the people within spirituality. Even today, the world religions become the hotbeds of the categorically inadmissible and malicious ignorance, the warmongers of international discords, and the cruelest religious wars. Therefore, the religious trends and concepts, which for some reason limit people's aspirations to qualitative self-improvement to the high intellectual and spiritual development, that is not inherent in the concept of the development of the direction of human evolution, and this is also foreign to people. It is simply unacceptable to mix the fanatical religious devotion and self-sacrifice generated by this devotion, bordering on recklessness and savagery, with the manifestations of high intelligence and high sensual conditions of the future humans. So what is conscious altruism? When you begin to feel a clear need to give to others and share sincerely, then it is a clear sign that you show true altruism. The dynamic of your state of awareness refocus you in a scenario where this implementation is maximally pronounced, and it allows you to refocus in more qualitative implementations. It is a well-known fact that those who give have far more than the rich, who only own things temporarily. When you give, you never lose anything, and you gain so much more in the process, and you gain something that is more valuable and necessary for your growth as a person. From a psychological point of view, the greedy and avaricious people, no matter how rich they are, is poorer than a beggar, because they are not able to feel the joy of giving to others. Charity is just one of the infinite variations of partial satisfaction methods of the imperishable internal state of the spiritual need. This act of kindness never fades and increases constantly by doing good for others without expecting any gratitude, honor, or recognition. This is the same as high intelligence, and if it is not implemented, then why is there a need to live? Altruism and intelligence are two inseparable parts of a single, highly creative stream in which one cannot exist without the other. The intelligence opens up the possibilities of the continuous mastering of increasingly complex information. The altruism allows experiencing the deepest and highest feelings. In the dynamic of close interaction of these two forces, a reliable meaning is born when a simultaneous realization occurs, and that is a biological type for the future human. Here is what can happen without high logical, analytical, and intuitive motivations, without the presence of an unconditional desire and self-consciousness to serve the other people gratuitously. In a state of emergency, the need for unconditional spiritual experiences come forth with responsibility. That is no different than the liability of a watchman, accountant, or any other person that holds the position of a materialistic kind of profession to personally gain from the experience. Love and mercy will be replaced by full-hearted affection by the ones who are loved the most, and will become a blind maternal devotion to a precious child. But this will allow an indifference or negative side to all other children and their parents. Self-esteem and decency within human behavior will be ostentatious, generously flavored by the hypocrisy and a desire to look even better, more successful, intelligent, and spiritual than they really are. Perseverance will fall to a level of stupid, malicious obstinacy in achieving sordid motives. Aspiration to higher ideas and creative spiritual realizations will be replaced by the powerful, selfish desire to publicly put out a deep-rooted ambition, shoving commonplace truths down people's throats, and none will be understood deeply nor apply to anyone's lives. Gradually mastering the different states of high essential intellect and high intellectual wisdom takes us beyond the kind of selfish implementations. This determines our potential readiness to create active participation in the cosmic programs that are no longer limited to the creative field of just our planetary entity. These programs allow all to consciously realize the purpose of inherent altruistic wisdom, along with many foremost systems of the worlds that structure the star galactic levels of our realities and continuums. Those who read and study Iissiidiology already know in which time we are living, and that it is moving along rapidly, and how changing of eras is going by within a fast pace, due to the fact of all of us that are intensively improving the quality of our own thinking and feeling. Before now, transitional periods used to take decades, but now it only takes years, in which things change at an immense speed, and along with this, the population of Earth change, and the attitudes within society, and thus society itself. Inasmuch as everything exists in accordance with the law of parallel worlds, there are many options for the development of humanity in this present moment, and thus many scenarios through which humanity must pass. If we want to stay within the pure human state of being and continue our creativity within the human worlds, we need to imagine how we would like our reality to be and what qualities a person of the future would hold and what we need to change to become such a person. If we do not begin to consciously change, we will change unconsciously, shifting naturally and automatically into non-human worlds, where there will either be bio-robots or we will undergo a variety of natural disasters, pandemics, wars, and other corrective planetary mechanisms. Major orienting points for the development of a naturally human way are high essential intelligence and highly intelligent altruism. These are the features of our thinking and the essential dynamic that moves us closer to the naturally human of the future. Our task is to develop these features and to apply it within our daily lives and then into the choices we make. After all, a human is not able to approve him or herself as a human if he or she is alone. For collective creativity to rise, Iissii's International Information, Altruism and Intellect Development Centers are being built, where anyone can expand not only the ideas about themselves and the surrounding world, but also to contribute to our common future by actively participating in joint collective activity with people who want to work together to build a human society based on the ideas and principles that Iissiidiology offers. Thank you, dear friends, for paying attention to this message. We would like everyone who watched this video to feel the degree of responsibility and the importance of the time in which we find ourselves. We embrace you and we wish you full understanding, patience, and continuous spiritual growth for the benefit of yourselves and all of our human community.